HTJ.tax, the international tax firm for 6, 7, and 8-figure investors and entrepreneurs who are living that international life. Are you ready?
I want to gift my rental property back in the US to my kids. They haven't said where the kids are, but okay. So what are the tax implications from both a US and Australia perspective of gifting rental property? Now, I'll just comment on the US side. So
yeah, the US is the source. So yeah, sure.
So yeah, but assuming, so this ties back to whether the person, generally speaking, they transfer, so the person who's giving the gift, the Donnie, the person who's giving the gift, that is the person who bears the responsibility for the transfer tax, for the gift tax. So that's generally speaking. So if the property were in Australia, we can have a discussion about tax domicile, but because it's in the US, it's a US citus asset. So assuming that they are domiciled in the US and this person didn't give enough facts and circumstances to make a determination, but let's assume that they can gift property to the kids up to their lifetime exclusion, which is around $12 million. So assuming that it's less than $12 million, a return would be filed, but no gift tax is payable because it's within their lifetime exclusion. If they are not domiciled in the US, then their lifetime exclusion doesn't apply because they're not US tax domicile. So that will be, that may trigger a gift tax. But let's assume that they were US domiciled to keep it simple. But what about from an Australia point of view, seeing that they are tax resident in Australia?
Sure. So I'm assuming that the owner, the donor is the gifter, for lack of a better word, is the Australian resident. So in those circumstances, even though it's a gift outside an estate context, so we don't have estate taxes or inheritance taxes. So if it passed under a will, it's a different story. But if someone gifts an asset, a capital gains tax asset, then they are deemed to have disposed of it for its full market value. So there's no difference from a tax perspective whether they had gifted it to their adult child or they had sold it for its market value to an independent third party. From their perspective, it's the same. If the recipient was an Australian resident, then Australia doesn't have a gift tax. And in the context of a gift can in certain circumstances be considered ordinary income, but a gift between a parent and a child for no reason but natural love and affection, that is outside our income tax net.
Okay, so yeah, thanks for that. Hopefully that answers your question. Just to add though, so I want to correct what I said. I said Donnie, it's Donner. So as James, you said the right thing. So it's the person that's gifting that typically would bear the tax burden in the US, if there is any. Now, if it is that you guys are in Australia on a permanent basis, and in fact you can be seen to be domiciled in Australia, at least from a tax perspective, then you are no longer US tax domicile. And therefore that, as I mentioned before, that exclusion doesn't apply. And the exclusion is actually much lower. It's $60,000. So if that home is worth more than that $60,000, then a gift tax may apply. And now in terms of the kids, when they receive the home, it's interesting to know that the basis in the home and the value of the home, so just in case they go on to sell it at some future point in time, the basis is yours, is whatever your basis was and is. So there's no step up in basis upon the transfer. So I don't know if that can help in your tax planning, but I think the important thing is to figure out whether you are, and that this is a test of facts and circumstances, whether you are or not U.S. tax domicile, because that would have a huge impact on how such a transaction would be treated. So you'd want to talk to a tax professional and get a determination on that. Hope that helps.
So if you're a 6, 7, or 8-figure investor, entrepreneur, or business owner who needs a tailor-made solution from a qualified team of professionals, we can help you achieve the international lifestyle, the freedom, and even the tax savings you're looking for. Visit us at htj.tax and live that international life.